Hey guys, it's Mr. Baldwin again, coming to you live from the interweb. Today, what we're going to talk about is some more unit conversions, but this time we're doing a different technique. We're actually using a technique called the factor labeling. Okay, last time you guys used the bunny hop method, which works really well in metric conversions, but now we're going to go outside of metric conversions. Okay, so I'll give you a basic idea of what a type of problem would be that looks like that we're going to do. So kind of a simple question. Let's say somebody came up to you and they said, I am 6.2 years old. Now you might say 6.2, what does that mean? I mean 6.2, maybe how many days is that? So we're going to give you guys techniques to figure out how many days are in 6.2 years. Okay, first I want to give you guys some steps. So make sure you guys take some notes. If you need to pause, make sure to pause. Okay, so for this factor labeling technique, 3 steps, pretty straightforward. First step, identify what you know. So you're going to figure out what units you have, what units you're trying to get to, and what type of conversions you need to get from one to the other. Next thing, you're going to fill out your fence. I'll describe what this fence is in a little bit. And then the last one, do the math. Okay, I'll walk you guys through how to do this math. Okay, so pause the video if you need to right now. This is 3 steps you're going to want to know. Okay? Alright, welcome back. Glad you paused it. Let's go back to our question. Okay? Question was, how many days are in 6.2 years? So, first I'm going to identify what I know. So I know one thing is 6.2 years. I'm just going to write YRS for years, a little bit of a shorthand. I also know something else. I know a conversion to get from years to days. So you guys should remember that there are 365 days, and that equals 1 year. YR being year. Okay, so that was my first step. Identify what I know. Oh, and I got to figure out how many years I'm converting to. Okay? So far you guys should be able to see that I've got years, oh sorry, not years, days. Hello Mr. Baldwin, wake up. Okay, so I've got years, I've got a conversion to go from years to days, and I'm trying to get to days. So hopefully you guys can see I can change years to days. I got my answer. Next step, step number 2, fill out your fence. Here's this sweet fence I've been telling you about. Okay? Real simple. Draw yourself a nice line. And on the top of the line, start with the number that we gave you. Okay, 6.2 years. And I'm putting that up on top. Now here's where we start to make it look kind of like a fence. I'm going to draw a line here. And notice how I've got room on the top and bottom. I can take my conversion, days per year, and I can put it on my fence here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually cancel out some of these units. So I've got years here. I want to put years on the bottom here. Okay, because I know that in 1 year, I've got 365 days. And you can extend your fence all the way over if you want, no big deal. Okay? Now look at the cool part of this. I've got years on top, I've got years on bottom. Now if I did the math and I divided 1 year by 1 year, those would actually cancel out. I would get the number 1. Okay, so anytime you have 1 unit on the bottom or top and the same unit on the bottom, those units cancel each other out. So if I had like monkeys up here and monkeys down here, those would cancel out. If I had yards and yards, canceled out. Miles, miles, canceled out. Centimeters and centimeters, those would cancel out. Okay, so I'm always trying to cancel out my units. So what I can do is I can cancel years and years. What am I left with? Days. Okay? So I finished my second step, fill out the fence. My last step, do the math. The real basics. Everything you have on the top, multiply. Everything you have on the bottom, divide it out. Okay? So I'm going to write it out kind of longhand over here. Okay, so I'm going to multiply everything on the top. 6.2 times 365. and then divide whatever I have on the bottom. Divide it by 1. Okay? So, based on that, I should be able to find myself an answer. I didn't have my calculator, so I'm going to use the calculator on my phone. You guys can absolutely use calculators on your phone if you've got them in class. Okay, so I go to my utilities calculator, and I do 6.2 times 365. I'm going to end up getting 2,263 days. Okay? And remember, we put that comma after the third one from the right. Okay, not the period like a lot of you guys are used to in Europe. Okay? Make sense? Good, I'll take that as a yes. If you guys are done writing on this problem, we'll move on to the next one. We'll do a couple practice problems here. If you guys, again, need to pause, please pause the video. Let's do this one. Okay, so for my next one, 4.3 hours equals how many minutes? Okay, it's not a metric conversion, so I can't use my bunny hop. Got to use my factor labeling. So, I've got 4.3 hours equals how many minutes? Step 1, identify what I know. So I know 4.3 hours. HRS, that's just hours. Another thing I know that 60 hours, whoops, that's wrong. I know that 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Okay? And I know that I'm trying to get to minutes. So I'm looking for some number of minutes. Already you can tell I've got enough to solve my problem. Got hours, I can change hours to minutes, and then I'm looking for minutes. Okay? Step 2, fill out my fence. So, start with what they gave me, 4.3 hours. And now I've got my conversion of 1 hour equals 60 minutes. So am I going to want to put the hours here on top or on bottom? Bottom, good. You guys are so smart, okay? So I've got 1 hour equals 60 minutes. And if you take a look at my units, hours divided by hours, those cancel. So I'm left with minutes, which is what I want my final answer to be. So if I do my math here, step 3, do the math, I'm going to multiply the top and divide the bottom. So it's 4.3 times 60 divided by 1. Okay, I take out my calculator, iPhones for a lot of you guys, and I'm going to do, clear, 4.3 times 60, and I should get 258. Okay, but remember, I need my units. So I've got 258 minutes. And I know it's minutes because if I look at my fence, all I've got left is minutes. I canceled out my hours. Okay, if you guys need to pause, rewind, go back, see how I did that problem. If you guys have questions, be ready for them in class. Ready for one more? Good, I see a lot of heads nodding out there. Let's do one more problem. Okay, how many hours are in 6,500 seconds? Should have a comma there. Okay, so how many hours are in 6,500 seconds? This one's going to be a little bit tougher. Okay, first thing, identify what I know. Okay, I know that I'm starting with 6,500 seconds. SEC is the way to abbreviate seconds. Another thing I know, in 60 seconds, there's 1 minute. Okay, but that actually doesn't get me to where I need to be. I need to get to hours. I also know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. Oh, now I'm getting to where I need to be because I know my final answer should be in hours. That's what I'm solving for. Okay, so you guys should be able to see that I'm going to go from seconds to minutes and then minutes to hours. I got my final answer. You guys ready to do this? I'm going to fill out my fence. Okay, so I draw my line. I might need a longer line for this one. and I start with what they gave me, 6,500 seconds. And I'm going to use this conversion right here, 60 seconds to minutes. I'm going to change it to minutes. So I do 60 seconds for every 1 minute. But I'm still not where I need to be. I got to get myself to hours. So actually, I can do another conversion. So I can do my 60 minutes equals 1 hour. Now should I put minutes on top or on bottom? Good, I want to put the minutes on the bottom. Okay, so I've got 60 minutes equals 1 hour. Okay, here's my favorite part of all science. I get to cancel out my units. If I divide seconds by seconds, those cancel out. If I divide minutes by minutes, those cancel out. Now, the only unit that I have left is hours. Okay, so I've pretty much got my equation, or I've got my conversion, sorry. Now, my last step, step 3, do the math. Okay, multiply the top, divide the bottom. I'm going to go down here to make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. So I do 6,500 times 1 times 1, and I divide all that by 60 times 60. And when you guys type this into your calculator, be careful because of order operations. So you might have to put parentheses around this to make it work in your calculator a little bit better. So if I do this in my handy dandy iPhone calculator, all I'm going to do is my 6,500 times 1 times 1, which is just 6,500, divided by 60. Whoops. 500. 6,500 divided by 60, divided by 60. And I should get an answer that looks something like this. 8.05. 555555555. I'm going to get rid of all those. I'll round to 2 numbers. Okay, so I go 1.81. Make sure I put my units. Hours. Okay? And usually I like you guys to circle up your answer or put a square around your answer and make it nice and easy for me. Okay? If there's any questions, please post them at the bottom. If you guys need to rewatch the video, rewatch the video. Use that pause button and rewind it. Okay? That's all I have for you guys. You're going to be working on this in class tomorrow. A whole bunch of conversions using factor labeling. That's all I got for you guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in class.